right. And welcome to the after show. Let's go.
We in here.
Let's go. Let's talk about it.
Salutations have been given again. Well, let me say this, man. You know, there was a line I could have said about a lot of things. I'm sure Jumbo could too. But based on corporate restrictions and me thinking about contractual obligations and things of that nature, I thought we did a great job.
Definitely.
It flows well. It flows well.
This is a time where, you know, because this conversation that we're having right now is going to be part of the after show. I'm just letting y'all know ahead of time.
Oh, yeah. And listen, I'm about to get with it.
Part where we really just, you know, talk and, you know, just you know, we critique ourselves here. We, you know, we just, you know, this is the personal conversation that we're going to give people the insight into.
The raw. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the more raw version of what we're talking about. Go ahead, Dr. Levin.
All right. I kick this shit off right now. Go ahead, AJ.
Just trying to be, you know, I want to make sure that folks walk away with crystallized sort of, this is what I need to do too. You know what I mean? Because filming, excuse me, not filming, but understanding and framing is what I meant to say. How I need to think is part of it. But man, I want us as black folk to start really strategizing and thinking about what we want to do. I want us to get out of this space of, oh well, if I want to be successful, then my alliances are going to be almost solely with white folk because they got the best. And the black version of all the same things is not as good just because it's black. And so, you know, I want you to, to the extent that you can think about what you want to do and accomplish, man, there's a lot of black folks that are on the same page as you who
we
can
are
bring
perfect
so much to the table.
We are perfect
we never even look for one another, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a blessing to me when BREADren was like, hey, you know, you're looking for somebody to give you a web image that's worth something. Man, I know my boy. And he didn't just come out with, oh, okay, that's just my boy. He came out with that, but then he gave me examples of who you have been successful with,
correct,
the type of success they had, and here goes another important part. And this is how much it's probably going to cost for you to do it. Because a lot of folks get to talking about how they want this and that, and how they want to work with who and such, and then they want it for free. No, man, that ain't
well,
how.
Dr. Levin, let me jump in. That's not normal business, but that's what we do to each other. We cannibalize each other because your skill set is somehow less valuable than what I would have paid for it otherwise. I've watched this happen. I go to a very nice barbershop. AJ's been there before. I go to a very nice barbershop. Outside of the barbershop, there are food carts sometimes set up. I watch a Jewish gentleman set his cart up. I watch an African American gentleman set his cart up. If you go outside and talk to them, they'll tell you we sell the same hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
The same. The Jewish gentleman is all kosher, yes. Now the African American gentleman is all kosher because he actually has a tilt towards a certain religious belief, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Everyone doesn't know this. When he comes up, he has to explain to them, hey, you know, I'm all kosher. I'm the same as my brother. And he says my brother. Let's keep that in mind. I'm the same as my brother next door. I'm not selling you against my brother, but you buy from what you want. It's up to you. We sell some of the same things, but not all of the same things. So they are diverse in what they sell. But I hear from him often that it's us that walk up to him and we want to give him $3.50 for the hot dog, but we'll give the other brother $5.50.
Won't even ask for a discount.
And we'd rather
the good point of like how capitalism breeds competition, but then you know it's supposed in essence in the purest essence of capitalism, it's supposed to be this beautiful dance. Fantasy world of competition where it's like everybody
the laissez-faire.
Right, exactly. But in all actuality, it breeds greed to where it's like I have to do more. Yeah,
correct.
Somebody can reach a certain level and reach content, and somebody can be like, this ain't enough, And even if all of their needs are taken care of, they still feel the need to do more, just in the sense of because they want to take someone else out, because they just don't want competition, and that breeds
even more content.
Insecurity could be one of them. It's like, I don't want no competition because I don't believe in myself enough. Because guess what? Like I said, your enemy is your enemy. I got that from church. I just want to preach a little bit.
And listen, AJ, I'm going to tell you this, because I know a Jamu can speak to this. So I'm going to tell you, I'll be brief when I say this, and because we're in the after show, I'm going to be fully transparent. I may even use a slight bit of profanity.
Go ahead. Fuck it.
The damn problem lies in the insecurities of self, because the crab in the barrel mentality says that, well, he can't possibly be making $5.50 a hot dog, but it's okay for the person next to him to sell the same hot dog and make more. But I will buy it from you, and here is the thing: I will buy it from you to prove to you that I can afford it. But to the other person who looks just like me, I'm not paying you that. I need you to give me, and I'm using air quotes, the hookup or the discount. Any of my friends that provide a service know one thing. I don't accept discounts for them. If they give me a discount, it's aftermarket. It's, I sent the extra shirt. I sent the extra whatever. I pay your retail price. The reason why I pay your price is because your value is being set. You could have to go to the bank next year and say, I sold X units at X cost, therefore the valuation of my business is X, and I want a business loan for this. If I am not contributing to that, and in Dr. Loving's terms, people are more important than things. I'm not investing in your shirt. I'm investing in you. And a lot of people don't understand that. You are going to far exceed that shirt. Example being, you have travel gear. You have a travel agency. You book the alumni cruise for Tuskegee. You do all these things. So if I'm going to nickel and dime you for a shirt, I want it at $17 versus $19.
So you bring up a point.
What?
Let's do it. Let's go there. You bring up the point. And we all know recent happenings of all of the major brands, Gucci, Prada, Balenciaga, all of these. I'm just calling out names of big brands. I don't care if they did something else. They probably gonna do it, did it, or we forgot about it.
Already did it.
Let's bring up the point to where it's just like that. And, not to discredit people, and I'm not gonna say names, but as soon as it happened, a lot of, influencers were like, oh, well, we're going to stop. We're going to not do it. Let's support black people now. Because,
come on.
Perfect example, our good, DJ, we got
T.I. AmirJames.com.
Amir James.
That's
Check them out because, they've been an MMBB affiliate for years because we,
correct.
They've been an affiliate, an affiliate brand for years. And we know what happened, as soon as the Gucci and the Prada and Moncler and all that went down, then, everybody want to be like, oh, let's support Amir James, but they've been around for literally years now. And I know a lot of people that know them, not even people that have heard of them, people that know them don't necessarily want to shop with them just because the price is premium or luxury and what we consider.
You know what?
But wait. But we will take and do our all to go to the Gucci store, the Prada store, pay $300, $400 for a damn T-shirt so that we can go into these places and these spaces just to show off that we can afford this, and then we go to the store, like you said, go to the store and show them that we can afford it. But you know me, I got a good brother, Jay Bernard. Shout out to him because he got
shoe line. Yeah. Right there from Tuskegee. So
I can give him $100 to $200 a pair because I got a pair of shoes right now that I know for a fact that my pair of shoes are one of only maybe 100 pairs in the damn world. Spending them shoes out by the thousands, and y'all spending $500 to $600 for them, and you ain't never met nobody named Gucci in your life. Kiss my ass, man.
Well, I'm glad you're being raw. So
hold on, I walked in the Gucci store one time in my life, and I saw the cheapest thing was on a clearance rack was a pair of goddamn briefs for $300 on clearance. And I said from that
you
day
walk
forward,
right back out of there.
These luxury brands can kiss my ass, but I guarantee you, if one of my true friends, one of my good brothers, comes out with a $300 pair of drawers, I'll give it if I got it.
I'm gonna buy them. And that's the thing.
I know what it's gonna do for me and for everybody else involved.
For him, and him or her, exactly. And that's the thing, right? So specifically about Amir James, right? So Amir's not on the call, but I intimately know him. Like, that's my brother too. And shout out to T.I. because T.I. did something that was super dope, and he gave him a platform. He used his platform to enhance Amir James's platform. They've been dope for forever, They just have been, right? But what ends up happening in the culture that we live in, again, going back to a jumble, people over things. The social media is things over people, because we've gotten outside of the face-to-face interaction. If T.I. says buy it, I'll buy it. Mm-hmm. I watched my friend. This man is my friend. This brand is my friend. I watched him overnight go from a strong following to what I would call a significant following. I watched him sell out overnight, and not sell out in the terms that most folks would think I'm saying. He sold out in merchandise. You know what he did? He's built different. He sent a message to his power circle and said, fellas, I'm going to sell out overnight, and I'm going to re-up. He didn't say, give me any money. He didn't say anything. But he knows as long as he keeps us abreast, he never has to go to the bank. We are his bank. He has 8 to 10 people he can tap into. Why go to the bank and pay rates when I'm right here living a great life, earning a decent income, and so are your 8 best friends?
Investment, venture capital with your friends.
With your friends. Finance your friends. People over things. See, I am concerned more with his success than the return on investment as it relates to him. Now, there are other projects, but he's a part of my power circle. You see, it's not a strategic partnership. So if I was in a strategic partnership with him, I would have sent that paperwork out, and I would have said, hey, it's 5% over the next 7 years.
Yielding to trust.
Exactly. And I give him credit for trusting the brothers that's come up with him. And when I say brothers, I'm not talking about skin color. I'm talking about the people that have supported him. I can wholeheartedly tell you that there are people that started with that brand that are not with it right now, but they're fully invested in seeing it succeed. Because he doesn't treat people in a shitty way. Because he's a good person. He employs the strategies that we talked about. It's people over the things, right? So because he's doing that, he has a social network that in order for him to get T.I.'s attention, they had to flood him. You understand that? It wasn't him saying, hey, T.I., repost me. It was a network of people retagging, hashtagging, or whatever, add Trouble Man 31. When he saw that outpouring, he decided he'd be on board. Similar to the relationship. Go ahead, brother.
No, I was going to say, I think it's important that we give people room to grow, right?
Yeah.
Like, the fact is, a lot of us grew up and Scarface was a movie you saw. You wanted things, man. And the things that you want are the expensive things that are out there that have the fancy foreign names, right? And that seems like that's what's going to give you some real fulfillment. And then even in the Scarface, the movie itself, if you're paying attention, you recognize that Tony Montana himself was not fulfilled with those things. And he got so subverted in his thinking that he killed his closest partner and only down his homie Manny. Spoiler alert. I'm sorry, I should have seen it.
Man, look, if you ain't seen it by now, if you don't know it by now.
But he got so subverted in his thinking that everybody that was important to him was dead before he was dying in a mountain of cocaine.
Because he didn't yield to trust. He didn't yield to trust.
Yeah. If that's no lesson to you about that people over things, that came from my Presbyterian minister's stepfather, and it is an expression of Jesus' love to us that he tried to give to the religious men of that time in terms of the Pharisees who were trying to put the law above love in the people. Really, and so he used, my stepfather, Reverend Dr. Eddie L. Knox Jr., used that to diffuse situations in our households and to talk to us about how we needed to relate with and to one another as siblings and family members and to the general world. But it is something that is so expansive, and it is literally, I think, my definition of how I hold my world together and how I relate to everyone. And so the reason that I say we need to give people room is because there's so many influences that push you to say, all right, well, now I can afford Gucci, so why would I deal with this other brand, right? But you haven't thought it through. You thinking of it from just, what I can get right now in terms of this material to put on my body, not in terms of how I can impact people who look like me and who I love and might be trying to do that next big thing and would also support me. And T.I., I don't know when he had that awakening because, he went through his whole thing. If you look at his first album, he did what most rappers do. He was, man, that guy, I will say this for him, man. Yeah, I went to Morehouse undergrad. And so I was in Atlanta. And so
you're not gonna keep talking about Morehouse without us talking about Tuskegee. That's not gonna happen.
Listen, we're gonna embrace that HBCU love over here.
I
all day long.
There's more room. There's room enough for all of it. But my deal is, I remember that tension between Morehouse and what folks would be calling the Atlanta locals, right? And so people, they not woke. They don't understand this and that and all the rest of this stuff. And then you have Morehouse individuals looking down in some cases on the individuals of the community, and you have individuals in the community talking about these bougie, soft little punk Morehouse. So you had all of this dichotomy when in actuality, had we been thinking from the beginning, we could have been working together to improve community conditions for everybody.
To enact change.
Right? Because we were dead the whole time.
That brings up the good point of being able to have conversation with each other, because if you come in with judgment, then you automatically turn yourself off.
Predisposed.
And that's why we got to give each other that space. That's why
you have to give everybody that space. Because everybody has to understand that everybody is a unique individual and nobody is the same. As much as we can have in common, we have way more different about us.
Right.
And, we have to all, black, white, and, anything, we have to all give each other that space to be able to understand that we're coming from different levels, because nobody's on the exact same level as you. Because I can meet somebody that is doing the same exact thing in life that I'm doing right now, but they're different from me based on social standards. So guess what? They have a different experience, and we have to all understand that we're coming from different points of views and different experiences, different backgrounds, and all that thing. So we have to give each other that space, like you said, to grow and to understand. So, but what happens with a lot of us, and not just black people included, is that we have this discourse because we are judging each other from the onset. We did not give each other that space to grow. We did not give each other that space to accept. Because the other thing is, like, if you can walk into a space and both of you all can say, I accept you. The one phrase that I like, DJ, I said it to you the other night, was namaste. And people got to understand what it truly means. It says, the peace in me recognizes the peace in you. And you can apply that to everything.
Right.
What I have recognizes what you have and vice versa. We are meeting each other in this safe space to progress, to grow, to do whatever we got to do when we coming into it. But if one of us doesn't do that, then the whole equation is fucked up. And it's out the window, and it doesn't do any of us justice. All it does is hinder. But as soon as we can do that, no matter who it is, then you got the power to progress. But that's, it brings up that good point of like, look, we got to not judge. We have to understand. We have to accept that we're all different and unique. Otherwise, we'd be, I don't even know, because even animals are different. We'd be some, single cell organism that is exactly the same, exact copy. We all got fingerprints. Every fingerprint is different, just like every snowflake. So we got to understand that kind of stuff. Otherwise, we'd be something that's, something of nature that is just a copy of, the exact same. You could kill 1 million of us and it wouldn't make a difference because we wouldn't know. But humans do it and done it, and, we see the effects of it.
Well, Arthur, the thing that you're hitting on is something that you talked about or you posted about on social media. And it's crazy that it comes up here. Engaging in the human experience, right?
Yeah.
So
just for background real quick. Just for background, I'll tell the story real quick. The other night I went to a bar, and I was waiting on one of my friends to come to the bar because we were supposed to meet up after he got off work. Long story short, he didn't show up, but so I sat there, and there was a older white gentleman that sat next to me. Now, for background, I'm a 31-year-old black man from Alabama, from Tuskegee, Alabama, born and raised. On the playground is where I spent most of my days. and this was an older white gentleman who was at least 60 plus, because he kept saying he was double my age, and he was born and raised in Long Island, New York. That's where I'm currently living. And we sat and talked for 2 to 3 hours on random things, just life and sport. We talked about sports and just in general, but we never once talked about politics. We never once argued about something. We never once disagreed about anything. And we talked for 2 to 3 hours. I don't even talk to some of my friends for 2 to 3 hours, but I talked to this random stranger who I didn't even know his last name for 2 to 3 hours, and we had a good time. We had a laugh. And one of the most intriguing parts about the conversation is at one point he said, "I never knew that. You taught me something." This man is 60 plus years old. I'm half his age, and he told me that I taught him something that he was going to tell his son.
I believe it.
Now, if I come into this with judgment and I say, "Oh, this is an old white man," because I'm from Alabama. Let's be real about it. I'm from South Central Alabama. I'm from Tuskegee. I know what racism is. I'm a young black man. I know what it is. So I could easily come into that same situation with judgment on my heart and my mind and say, this man got to be a racist because he's an old white man. But I didn't, and he could have done vice versa and said the same thing about me. "Oh, this is some thug black dude." But we didn't, and we both came in with acceptance, non-judgment, into a safe space, and we had a beautiful conversation that lasted for hours, and we walked away from it better people.
Right.
That's the background of it. Go ahead.
So that's the goal, right? But how many people leave home with that goal? Because we're carrying so much shit from the day-to-day, from the upbringing, from the, conversation that you just had with your girlfriend who got looked over for the promotion, or your homeboy who felt slighted because he was the only, minority in the room. Those things resonate with us at a high level because we are operating on that frequency. And while it may not be optimal for other folks, it's the reality for us, right? And so when you walk into a room, it's just like your marriage. You wake up every day, you choose to make that day better, or you choose to make it a successful day. When I wake up in the morning, I have a choice. I get to choose what I do, what to focus my energy on. I don't give a damn if it's storming outside. I don't give a damn if it's snowing. And I really don't like the snow. I don't care what the temperature is. My attitude is determined by what I decide to do. And what you are talking about is the approach. You're in control of your attitude and what you decide to do, not based on your upbringing, not based on your background, tradition, or what have you. you're willing to allow this gentleman to be who he is. And he was willing to allow you to be who you were. And you judge each other accordingly on that.
Meet me
at the space that I'm in. Exactly. We can always break bread together. That's it. So ultimately, what happens in a situation like that, it's a growing experience for both parties. Because what could have been was diffused with what is. Like, you quickly killed that. And you know that in the first few minutes of conversation. So when he addressed you and you addressed him, you wouldn't have stayed there for hours if you didn't feel comfortable, if you didn't think it was going to be a productive conversation. Mm-hmm. Now, I guess I say that too quickly. Knowing you, had it been a contentious conversation, you may have stayed there longer, because I know that you're comfortable in uncomfortable spots, and you still would have cited that as a learning experience. Mm-hmm. Everyone doesn't do that. But for the sake of argument, in this situation, what this gentleman did and what you did is a reflection of what we need to do more in society. You see, we pick up these devices and we're receiving information so much on other people that we know them before we have an exchange with them. Having human exchange and dialogue can change the way people feel about entire groups of people. The same way reading a paragraph about a group of people can have that same impact. So if I allow you to read the paragraph about me and we never have an exchange, I did myself a disservice, because I could have dispelled all those myths with just a small margin of engagement. So for me, what you posted and what you put out there was important, because people don't engage enough. I mean, children, adults, whether it's a child to an adult, adult to adult, or business to business. I mean, I love phone calls. My clients call me, I have a phone call, we can resolve the situation in 30 seconds, I hang the phone up, it's over. Otherwise, we got 17 emails, we got 45 texts. I don't have that type of time in my day, because you're not my only client. I could take 30 seconds and give you specific time and attention and engage in direct human interaction. And we can resolve this. The scale that was supposed to be created by technology is diminished because we over leverage it a lot. And I'm a tech geek in some respects, but we definitely over leverage it in a lot of cases, because the human element is eliminated. Nothing replaces that.
That's the other thing that we get lost in it. We get lost in it, and people don't actually realize it is, we are androids at this point, and not in the sense of you have an Android phone. We are androids because, if you look at majority of the people, especially when you go into a public setting where a lot of people,
they're all on their devices,
people that are coming up, they don't have social skills, so they don't know how to engage. And you got people out there that want to engage and they can't, because the person that they want to engage with is an android. They're so engulfed in, the technology that is, and vice versa, where people that, are androids may want to engage, but they only know how to on a digital level. And, we got a lot of people that are still analog. Some people don't even know what the hell analog is. You know what I'm saying? But, we come from I shared something today to where, we talk a lot about the generations, and, we got millennials, and, at one point we were considered millennials, but now we are considered exennials or zennials. Just start with an X. Because we were born into that period of time where we, there was no internet, and then there was internet. And in some cases there was no computer, and now there, and we grew up and we were brought up into, we watched it change from what it was to what it is. And, I know I didn't get my first cell phone until I was 14 years old. So half my life almost was gone until I got my first cell phone. And my first cell phone was nowhere near what I got in my hand now, because as an entrepreneur, I run my businesses off of my phone, literally. I can be anywhere in the world, and if I'm not next to my laptop, the convenience factor goes down a little bit, but I'm still able to handle business for the most part. 80% of my business I do from my phone. And, but I know my first cell phone, I'll be damned if I thought I could do any of the shit I do now with a Nokia 1500. You feel me? You already know what I'm talking about. I can play Snake, and I can send you a text message up to a certain point. There wasn't no unlimited text. Come on with it. Man, look,
you didn't pick that phone up until 9 o'clock because you knew better.
Listen, 9 p.m. Hit me. Don't call me.
9:01 to be sure.
I ain't got nothing but 200 minutes and 50 texts per month. Don't do none of that. Call me after 9. This is emergency. This is just to get in touch real quick. Otherwise, call me on my landline. Look, we ain't got time for that, bull. But that's the thing we all gotta really understand. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, everybody really got to get to this point where we're more open-minded, and a lot of people are so closed off because of the sensationalism that is surrounding us. Like you said, the phone. If you're so engulfed in your phone, you can't even see the person across the room giving you that eye that that you may or may not that you may be attracted to. You can't catch that girl giving you the eye, where you out because you so engulfed in your phone. You can't catch that dude giving you the eye because you so engulfed in your phone. As
it relates to the phone deal,
people overthink.
People overthink, and with that, this is how I would like to kind of close out the after show. Dr. Lovin, man, my brother, we have gotten to know each other on a very high level. Over the past few years, I've had the opportunity to meet your family and you mine. What is it or what was it that made you include? Because, again, folks, this is the first African-American PhD in personal finance in the United States of America.
Hold on. I didn't say that.
Oh, it's fine. I'm more than happy to say it.
I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it again for you for backup for, because it's 2019. Granted, you didn't get this in 2019, but Dr. Ajamu Loving, PhD, is the first African American man to get a PhD in personal financial planning. It's 2019
in the United States.
In the United States. You know what I'm saying?
That's critical, man.
That's historic.
Critical.
That's monumental. That is worthy of everything that comes with it. It demands respect.
I neglected to post him as a Black History fact in February.
Don't worry about it because I've already injected the fact that Black History Month is going to be extended until about Wednesday or Thursday of next week, because February is 28 days. All the other months got 31, so we got 2 more days.
I would caution you to pick. I would caution you to pick back up in April because this is Women's History Month in March, and you don't want to be on the wrong side of that.
Listen.
I have said my piece.
I'm gonna take my 3 days. Y'all can take 3 days for the next month. It's 365 days.
I've said my piece, and I am done. I'm not about
to interrupt and then pick up an addendum of Black History Month. Listen, we'll throw in one more. We'll throw Dr. Lovin in on the addendum of Black History Month, and in contrast, we'll find out who the first Black female, PhD in finance. And
good luck.
There isn't one.
I was gonna say there is. Danielle Winchester, I believe, is the first black female PhD. She came after me, but North Carolina A&T is the professor. She's awesome people, man.
Right.
Y'all didn't hit love right there from these Morehouse men, NCAA.
Come on.
Man, that's got to be thrown out there, man.
Go ahead.
It has to.
And
so Dr. Loving, I definitely want to come to him because I really want to know. You talked about it earlier, AJ, but I just want to turn it over to him because our relationship is what it is based on a lot of corporate things, and then we also developed a bond outside of that. And I thought it was very genuine. And we've talked business the entire time. You know, we're careful not to overlap the corporate and the personal because obviously contracts and conflicts of interest and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
But man, we've talked about partnering for as long as I can remember. Dr. Loving, we talked about a power circle and the level of trust. What was it about our relationship that allowed you to port that into this one? For just so the people on the line can hear it and maybe they can mimic some of those things. And feel free to take it wherever you think it needs to go.
All right. Well, so part of it, and I think this is the major part, is okay. Yeah, we vibe, but I vibe, and I'm cool with a lot of people, man. I can go with the flow with a lot of folks. But when we started talking about our families, right, and talking about our sincere hopes for people around us and not just us. See, you can really tell about a person, not just about what they want for themselves and what things they want and how much they want to accomplish. You'll find folks that everybody got lofty goals in corporate situations and otherwise. Everybody wants to do well and, make a decent amount of money and accomplish things and get promoted and all the rest of these things. But do they care about their wife? Do they care about their brothers and sisters? Do they care about their family? Do they care about you as the person across from them? And I think the one overarching thing, this is what separates us from all other beings in this world, all of the living, breathing entities. Like you see, all animals have this in this inside of themselves. They have this whole let's prolong the species thing, but that's not love. That is a biological imperative to push things along, right? Wow. That's not love. God is love. And so we, in my family, we always pray and we always read. So this is from First Corinthians 13. Love endures with patience and serenity. Love is kind and thoughtful. Love is not jealous or envious. Love does not brag and is not proud or arrogant. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not provoked nor overly sensitive and easily angered. It does not take into account a wrong endured. It does not rejoice at injustice, but rejoices with the truth when right and truth prevail. Love bears all things, regardless of what comes, believes all things, looking for the best in each other, hopes all things, remaining steadfast during difficult times, endures all things without weakening. Love never fails. And so what I perceived in you was real love. And that's what I gave too. And so trust and all of these other things, when we abide by God's principles for us in our lives and we treat people as they ought to be treated as more important than things, when we do that, then we can truly say namaste, right? Mm-hmm. And the God in me recognizes the God in you, mm-hmm. and man, we can move forward. And I don't have any reservations about working with you or doing for you or doing with you because I know you love me like I love you. That right there, that's it, man. That's it. And so to the extent, wherever your perspective is coming from, whatever religion you're coming from, you can't deny the power of love. It's pervasive in all of them, right? Whatever sexual orientation or whatever somebody done said from the pulpit about you, that has nothing to do with the love that is universal that's out there for you. And to the people who are willing to embrace you, and to the people you're willing to embrace and show one another love, man, you can cross any chasm. And so for me, and how I want to live my life, and one day when folks are standing over my grave, I want people to say, man, that dude loved people. He treated people well. He respected folks. He worked hard, and he went far. But, man, he wasn't stomping on folks. Man, he built people up. Look at all the people who he built up. And if you can say that as you go through your business and all the things that you've done, all of the people who are extraordinarily wealthy have come up with something that has been of extraordinary service to the people who bought it. When you get to that place where you have that extraordinary thing that you can bring to people that changes their lives in an extraordinary way, it will be a very special, transformative thing to their lives and to your own. But you got to get your mind right first. Right?
Get your mind right, then you use a cell, and I'm a red hot undercover pimp.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is not what I expected at all.
Listen, my job here at BREADren is to, be that moderator, and also that gap between both of y'all, and also the gap between, what I'm saying, anybody that don't understand, because, but we all of us have that quality, honestly. We all have all three of us have that quality to, meet people where they are and accept people where they are, because that's,
Right.
that's a huge difference. You can meet people where they are and not necessarily accept them where they are, but we we have the ability to do both at the same time, and that does a world of good versus, just simply meeting people where they are. But like I said, I definitely want to, extend my appreciation to both of you all for embarking on this journey, with me, and vice versa. This is something that we're undertaking, especially with the schedules. We all have families and things, but this is something that we feel that is needed, and something that is warranted by, this is, it's a calling in a sense. We ain't preachers, but we feel a need that we need to, have these conversations in a very open way to, help others that may not have a forum where they can go and express things. And that's something that, especially with the way that Dr. Lovin just, eloquently, expressed his point, is, a very spiritual, religious, basis to all of this, is where this is a calling to where we feel that it is needed, and it's our job to do it. Because a lot of people, not necessarily complain, but they want to point out, issues and things of that nature, but they don't necessarily want to, offer up solutions or be a part of that solution. They can just point out what's wrong. And there's nothing wrong with it, because a lot of people that have the solutions don't know how to identify problems, and vice versa. People that can identify problems don't know how to, create solutions. So that, that brings back to the point of collaboration, where everybody has to work together, because you got people that's really good at pointing out problems, but they're not good at creating solutions. You got people that's really good at creating solutions, and they're not good at pointing out problems. So collaboration is the thing. The basis of human nature is that we have to collaborate and create community. We have to, create this alliance of accountability and things of that nature, the power circles and the strategic partnerships. We have to. Even in the olden days, when you had different tribes, the tribes met together and they traded. And they had each other's best interests at heart, because they knew if the land was not providing for the people that farmed, then the ones who were going out providing the hunting, providing the clothing, then everybody failed. Because if they can't feed and be strong enough to go hunt, then they can't provide the meat and the the skins for warmth for the winter, and all of those things. If you look at the real simple and the basics of real society and community, we have to rely on collaboration. We have to. And we also, and part of it has to be trust and accountability, where it's like, hey, you ain't doing your part, and it's hindering me from doing my part. It's helping you. And we have to be unafraid to say that to each other and to express those feelings and those opinions. Like, look, and that's why this power circle that we have is good. I text these guys on the daily, on the weekly, not maybe every single day, but at least once or twice a week. I'm texting them saying, look, we need content, guys. And they know it, and they'll attest to it. Like, it has to be accountability, and I expect them to do the same for me. And it's competition, but it's not competition where I have to get ahead of you. It's competition where I'm saying, I'm going to the next level, let's go together. So I'm saying, look, I'm putting out 2 videos this week. What you gonna do? You put out one, let's go. If that's the one you put out, make it your best one. Catch up with me. I'm waiting for you at the next stop.
And Arthur, I want the people to understand that what you're really laying out is the understanding that it's progress over pride, right? So we talked about it a little bit earlier. So what you're laying out is progress over pride. You are trying to progress the group, and when I challenge you, when I challenge each of you, I'm trying to progress the group.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have an understanding as a group of men or a group of women or a group of friends, if it's intermingled, what the objective is. We three are clear on what our objectives are. We are about growth and we are about opportunity, but we're also about sharing that journey with our constituents, hence this platform. And so when we challenge each other, I don't take it personally. I'm like, damn, he did it on Monday morning? Damn, I got to get up and do it right now. And sometimes I get that text at 5:15. I'm feeding my son. As soon as I feed my son, I am in meditation about what it is I'm going to put out, because I'm not a copy and paste type of guy. I want things to be organic.
Mm-hmm.
So and we've talked about organic growth versus this phenomenon of buying likes, followers, or what have you. We've talked about that extensively. I don't want it. I want anything that way. Everything I want is organic. All the relationships, all the best things in my life are organic. The best things. And if it's not going to be that, I don't want it. And so I really appreciate both of you, which I have not said on this call, but I also appreciate the brothers that are part of the extension of our power circles. And I hope, at a later date we can have them on or what have you. But I think it's very important that folks know that it's progress over pride. I put my pride aside. I lay my ego down when I get on the phone with these gentlemen, because they have something to offer. I also do the same in my business life, and I try to do it in my personal life. Okay. Falling short is something that we all do, but the more you can lay your ego down and your pride down and consider progress, the better off we'll be as a collective on this call and as a collective to the listeners and as a community. So, folks, progress over pride.
I love the way you put that. You before a little bit ago, you just said you understand that everybody has something to offer, and I think that is a great way to end this and to somewhere insert a challenge to everybody listening. Is if you want to start on this, this journey and this growth to where you can start meeting people where they are without judgment, is always walk into a situation understanding and realizing the fact that everybody has something to offer. Even people that you might consider your so-called enemy, people that might have ill will towards you, they have something to offer you that you can learn from their situation. If you walk into a dark room and everybody turns the lights on and there's knives in their hands and you don't have a knife, guess what you learn from that situation? Don't walk into a dark room no damn more. You know what I'm saying? I'm just putting it real plain. Like, if you can enter every situation from the standpoint of everybody has something to offer me, it does you a way more world of good than the judging from the onset and missing out on the opportunity to learn something at all. I don't think everybody really caught that, so I'll end it there. But, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate both of y'all, like I said, and we're gonna end this after show. Any last words, Dr. Lovin?
No, man, I think y'all said it all, brother. I think that I'm just excited for what the future holds for us and new topics. And here's the deal, man. Folks out there, if you listen to the radio show, you listen to the after show, as AJ said, share, man, comment back. Talk to us about what you want to talk about. Man, let us talk to you. Let us be of service to you. That's the thing, is that we bring these skills and we gather them up within ourselves and we share them with one another. But let us know what you need so we can be of service to you too, because that's how we're going to be successful and that's how you're going to be successful. So help us to help you.
Bless. I guarantee you we got a lot that we can offer you for free. I guarantee you. Just like this conversation. We having this conversation for free.
And for pay
we ain't
too.
charging
for pay too, but also for free.
Oh, yeah. Look. Everybody got to get their ducats, man. But look, it's nothing, you know what I'm saying? All jokes aside, it's nothing for you to, to comment and share something for us to give our insight and our opinion on something. You know, and if it demands that attention that it needs to go to a contractual obligation or strategic partnership, what have you, then we'll talk about that. But you know what I'm saying? This is just one of the forms of the freeness that we got about us. This is the calling that we all three have, to where we can just, we give this, these opinions, these facts, this forum for free. We ain't charging for this. I don't even, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got time for it. I ain't got time to charge y'all 99 cents for this. Which I was buying the ring because of 2005. Go ahead, DJ, close it out.
Man, I'll close it out like this. Number one, we're grateful and we're appreciative of each other, but we're also appreciative of the opportunity and the platform that's afforded to speak to people who look like us and also provide intelligence to those who may not necessarily look like us but want to understand what it is we're going through. Diversity and inclusion is a major topic in all industries right now. Empowering women is something that we all need to get behind, because when women do better, we all do better. And finally, we need to have these conversations, because the absence of conversations is the presence of ignorance. And if we're going to move forward as a culture and as a people, it starts here, and it starts with us. So I'm very blessed and fortunate to share this platform with two humble servicemen and great brothers who really care about our culture, our people, but also the larger population at large. This is not an exclusionary conversation. This is very inclusive in nature. And our platform is one that should inspire, encourage, and engage. I appreciate the platform. We appreciate the time. And with that, AJ, I'll give it back to you, man.
Most definitely. As always, I appreciate my two brethren for joining me for the after show and for the main show. Y'all always follow, like, share, comment, reach out to us. Stay tuned, because we got a lot to grow, and we want you to grow with us. That's why we're doing this at this point in time. But as we close out, I just want to leave you.
Hey, and folks, before we close out, help me welcome soon-to-be baby Avery into the world. AJ and his wife are expecting their first child, their very, very precious baby girl. Baby Avery will be joining us in approximately 2 weeks, and I cannot wait for him to join me on this journey. He's going to be a fantastic father. She's going to be a fantastic mother, and our village is going to support them tremendously.
Thank you. The blessings and the love is always felt between, this power circle and these strategic friendships and partnerships that we have. So with that being said, I definitely just want to leave y'all with the thoughts and the points. Start looking for the people that you want to include in your personal board of directors. Focus on the power and the ability to progress. Make sure that everybody is dedicated to each other's success. If somebody's not a part of it, then they should not be a part of your power circle. Create your alliance of accountability. Do you want to be underrated, or do you want to be unemployed? Yield to trust. Recognize that your enemy is your enemy. Deal with yourself first before you start inviting people in. Are you a part of a closed circuit? And birds of a feather flock together. I do a lot of rhyme and rhythm, you know what I'm saying? That's just my personality. And so y'all will grow to know and love that as me and my brothers grow and love each other. This has been the BREADren Aftershow, and we love you all, and progress is the goal. Good night.